After driving 9 hours through a snowstorm to surprise my wife on her birthday, I walked in with a cake and heard her tell her sister, "God, I hope he crashes. I could use the insurance." Her sister replied, "Or at least a few months of silence." They laughed. I left the cake on the counter. The next morning, I was gone. 3 weeks later, she regretted everything she said. So, I, 33M, and my wife, Abigail, 31F, have been married for 7 years. Classic story. High school sweethearts, broke up for college, reconnected at a mutual friend's wedding, and the rest was history. Or so I thought. Things haven't been great lately. Abigail's been distant. Started about 6 months ago when she began hanging out more with her sister Mia and this new group of friends who all seem to drive cars they can't afford and take vacations they don't have the money for. Not judging, just noticing. Abigail started making comments about our house being starter size and asking when I was going to level up career-wise. I chalked it up to a phase. We live comfortably. Nice 3-bedroom in a good neighborhood. 2 decent cars, yearly vacation, nothing fancy, but we're doing fine. Or I thought we were. Last week was Abigail's birthday. February birthdays suck in the Midwest. Always cold, often snowy. Plans get cancelled, so I decided to do something special this year. Her actual birthday fell on a Tuesday, but she'd mentioned wanting to visit her sister that weekend since they had plans to go to some spa thing on Saturday. I told her I couldn't get away from work and would have to stay behind. That was a lie. I'd actually arranged to take Friday off. The plan? Surprise her by showing up at Mia's place Friday evening with her favorite cake from this bakery near our house. Then take her out for a fancy dinner I'd already booked. I'd even packed a bag with her favorite dress and shoes. I had it all worked out. Weather reports started looking sketchy Thursday night. Winter storm warning, 6 to 10 inches expected across 3 states, including the entire route I needed to drive. Most people would have cancelled. I didn't. Partly stubborn determination, partly not wanting to waste the reservation at the restaurant that took me 3 weeks to get. I left at 7 a.m. Friday. What should have been a 6-hour drive turned into a 9-hour nightmare. White-knuckle driving through snow so thick I could barely see the taillights in front of me. 3 accidents on the highway slowed everything to a crawl. Had to stop twice to get coffee just to stay alert. But I kept thinking about Abigail's face when I'd walk through the door. Worth it, right? Got to Mia's neighborhood around 4 p.m. Had to park a block away because the plows hadn't come through yet. Grabbed the cake box and trudged through ankle-deep snow. My jeans were soaked by the time I got to Mia's front door. The door was unlocked. I could hear them in the kitchen. Voices and laughter. I was about to call out when I heard my name. Abigail was mid-sentence. From Noah. Nothing. Radio silence. Mia said something I couldn't make out. Then Abigail again, clearer. He texted earlier saying he was stuck at work. Probably still there. In this weather, they'd have sent everyone home, Mia replied. Well, he's probably on the couch with his headphones on playing that stupid game again. I froze in the entryway. This wasn't the usual playful eye rolling about my gaming habits. There was real contempt in her voice. At least he's not here ruining your birthday week, Mia said. I almost stepped in then to announce myself. Wish I had. Instead, I heard what came next. God, can you imagine? Abigail laughed. He'd insist on coming to dinner with us tonight and tell the same 3 stories he always tells. Then he'd get that sad puppy look when I want to go out tomorrow without him. My stomach knotted. I stood there holding this stupid cake I'd driven 9 hours through a blizzard to deliver, listening to my wife mock me to her sister. Well, at least he's safely out of the way, Mia said. The roads are a disaster. My friend's husband got stuck on the highway for 3 hours. There was a pause. Then Abigail said something I'll never forget. God, I hope he crashes. I could use the insurance. I must have made a noise because they both got quiet. I thought I'd been caught, but then Mia responded. Or at least a few months of silence. They both laughed. Actual laughter at the thought of me dead or hospitalized. I don't remember consciously deciding what to do next. I just walked into the kitchen, placed the cake box on the counter, and walked back out. Their faces. I've never seen color drain from someone's face so fast in real life. Abigail called my name, but I just kept walking back through the snow, back to my car. I sat there for maybe 20 minutes before I could even put the key in the ignition. My phone blew up. 17 missed calls by the time I checked. 38 text messages. I read exactly none of them. I drove to the nearest motel. Cost me $80 for a room that smelled like cigarettes and desperation. Turned off my phone and stared at the ceiling until sunrise. When I did turn my phone back on, there were 63 texts and 29 missed calls. I didn't read them. Just texted my friend Theodore, something happened with Abigail. Need a place to crash for a few days. Theo, being the MVP he is, just replied, doors unlocked, beers in the fridge. I drove the 9 hours back home, packed 3 suitcases of clothes and essentials while Abigail was still at Mia's. Grabbed my important documents from our fireproof box, and went to Theo's. That was 3 days ago. I still haven't spoken to Abigail, though not for her lack of trying. She's called from multiple numbers, left voicemails ranging from tearful to angry, and even showed up at my work yesterday. I wasn't there, called in sick. Today I went to the bank and moved half our joint savings into a new account in just my name, froze our joint credit cards, changed all my passwords, told my boss I needed to work remotely for a week due to a family emergency. It's all very methodical, which is weird because inside I feel like I'm in free fall. The thing is, I keep replaying those words. I hope he crashes. I could use the insurance. Who says that about someone they're supposed to love? Who laughs about their spouse being silenced for months? Even worse is realizing this probably isn't the first time she said something like this. Just the first time I heard it. Our friends have started reaching out. Apparently Abigail's telling people we had a misunderstanding and I'm overreacting. Classic gaslighting move. One mutual friend texted saying whatever happened, I'm sure you guys can work through it without even asking for my side. I haven't told anyone what I heard. Not even Theo knows the full story, though he hasn't pushed. He just keeps the fridge stocked and gives me space. Last night I finally read some of Abigail's texts. They follow a predictable pattern: confusion, defensiveness, anger, manipulation, threats, self-pity. Not one genuine apology, not one acknowledgement of how fucked up what she said was. After reading those, I blocked her number. I'm not ready to talk to her. Maybe I never will be. Today I met with a financial advisor named Milton who a coworker recommended. Spent 2 hours going through our finances. Found out some interesting things, like how Abigail's been spending $1,780 a month on online shopping for the past year, or how she took out a store credit card I didn't know about with a $3,000 balance. Milton helped me make a plan to disentangle our finances as painlessly as possible. It's all legal. Nothing shady. But it means Abigail's about to get a reality check about her spending habits. The joint account I left untouched has enough for this month's mortgage and utilities. After that, we'll see. I'm not trying to leave her destitute. I just need her to understand there are consequences. The wild thing is I still catch myself wondering if I'm overreacting. Like maybe it really was just a joke. But then I remember her tone, the casualness of wishing me dead, the laughter after. And I know I'm not. Theo says I should talk to her if only to get closure. Maybe he's right. But right now I'm still processing, still trying to figure out who this person I married actually is. Tomorrow marks 4 days of silence from my end. Abigail's sister Mia tried to call today. I didn't answer. Then our neighbor Lydia texted saying Abigail was at their house crying on the front step because I changed the garage door code. Part of me feels bad. Most of me doesn't. The thing that keeps me up at night isn't even the insurance comment. It's the laughter. The easy way they both found humor in the thought of me suffering. Who does that? And how long has she felt this way? I've also been wondering about the life insurance policy we took out 3 years ago. It's not huge. $500,000. But enough to make someone hope he crashes, I guess. Calling the insurance company tomorrow to see about changing the beneficiary. I know this is getting long, but typing it all out helps. Theo's got a buddy who's a divorce lawyer. Meeting him for coffee tomorrow. Not sure if that's where this is heading, but I need to know my options. For anyone wondering what I'm going to do next, I don't know yet. Part of me wants to just disappear completely, change my number, move to a different state, start over. But that feels like running away. Another part wants confrontation. Wants to see her face when I repeat her words back to her. Wants her to feel 1/10 of the hurt I'm feeling. But mostly I just want the hollow feeling in my chest to go away. I want to stop seeing her face when I close my eyes. I want to stop hearing those words and that laughter on repeat in my head. For now though, I'm taking it one day at a time, keeping my head down, making plans, and letting her wonder where I am, what I know, and what I'm going to do. If there's interest, I'll update as things develop. Regardless, thanks for letting me vent. Sometimes the internet is the only place where strangers will just listen without trying to fix everything. Still standing, still breathing. Once loyal. Update. Continues in the same voice, picking up seamlessly. Quick recap for those just joining. I drove 9 hours through a snowstorm to surprise my wife Abigail at her sister Mia's house for her birthday. Overheard Abigail telling Mia she hoped I'd crash for the insurance money. Left the cake on the counter and walked out. Been staying at my friend Theodore's place, ignoring her calls and texts while sorting out finances. It's been a week since my last post and 10 days since I heard those words that keep replaying in my head like a cursed TikTok sound. They say anger fades. That's what all the self-help podcasts Theodore's been playing in the kitchen claim. Anyway, the rage subsides and you're left with a clear mind to make better decisions. I'm still waiting for that part. Continues through all the updates, ending with happy smiley. Day 90 today. 3 months since I heard those words in Mia's kitchen. 3 months of silence, separation, reflection, and growth. I've been thinking about cakes. The one I left on Mia's counter, the birthday it was meant to celebrate. The moment everything changed. This afternoon I went to the same bakery, bought the same cake, drove to my new apartment, and set it on my new counter. Then I took a photo and texted it to Abigail. The first direct text I'd sent her in 90 days. She called immediately. I let it go to voicemail. Then I cut a slice of cake, sat on my second-hand couch, and listened to her message. She didn't beg, didn't make assumptions, just said she understood the symbolism. Said she would accept whatever I decided. Said she was proud of how I'd handled myself through all of this with dignity instead of destruction. Said she was sorry again, not expecting forgiveness, but offering the apology anyway. I'm meeting with the lawyer tomorrow. Not to file for divorce, not yet, but to discuss the next steps of either path. To understand what reconciliation would really look like after something like this. To know exactly what I'm choosing. Tonight I'll finish this cake alone. Not out of sadness, but because some journeys need to be walked solo. I don't know if Abigail and I have a future together. The wound she inflicted was deep. The trust she shattered won't be easily rebuilt. But I do know that whatever I decide, it will be from a place of strength rather than fear, of clarity rather than confusion. Those words at Mia's kitchen table revealed something ugly. But maybe they also revealed something necessary. Maybe we needed to break completely to see what we were actually made of. Or maybe some things, once broken, should stay that way. Either way, I'm at peace with the process. The man who left that cake on the counter 90 days ago would have set himself on fire to keep Abigail warm. The man writing this now knows his own worth. I'll update one last time after I make my final decision, but for now, I'm signing off. Thanks for coming on this journey with me, internet strangers. Your advice, support, and occasional terrible revenge suggestions have been a strange form of therapy. Still standing, still breathing, stronger than before.